for Sasheer Zamata.
Smooth. Seamless. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Late Night Whenever. Give it up for Rob Lewis.
What up?
I'm Sasheer Zamata. I'm filling in for Michelle. She is working. She booked a job, so bitch is working. And I'm not. So they called me, and I was like, yeah, I'm free. I'm standing outside. I'm ready. But I'm very glad to be here. I just got a haircut today. Thank you. I know that's not great to bring up on a podcast. People listening probably can't see it. But check my Insta. I'm sure I've posted about it by the time this episode comes out. But yeah, I've been like itching to get a haircut for a while, and my hair's usually a full afro, but I got the sides and the back shaved, and it feels really good. And I cut my hair. I first went natural maybe 13 years ago or something like that, like when I was in college, and I had straight permed hair to my shoulders, and it was cute. But I just felt like I looked like every other black girl I saw ever, and I remember I saw this video in my media studies class about the history of black hair. I still don't know why we showed that video, but I was like learning. and they were showing like different ways black people were like straightening their hair to assimilate with white culture, like conking and like putting grease in their hair and putting their head in the oven, or literally putting a clothes iron on their hair. And I was watching it. It was a cartoon too, which is also like, I guess it's added to the ridiculousness of it. And I was watching, I was like, I understand how this is a survival technique that we used to need. But now I was like, I don't feel like I need this now, because I feel like I can move through the space and work and live without having to straighten my hair or look more white. So I told my mom, I was like, I want to shave my head. And she goes, no. She's like, I worked so hard on this hair. And she did. She like, lots of box perms and me leaning over the sink for years and her like, you know, putting lye in her hands. But my hair was getting longer and shiny, but it was getting thinner. So I was like, there's nothing to hold on to. It's dead. So let's cut it. And my mom cut it for me. She grabbed a huge lock of it and just cut it like immediately and plopped it in my lap. And I was laughing. I was like laugh crying the whole time she was cutting my hair. I felt like I was like becoming the Joker, just like because it was such a huge change. I'd never done that before, but after I did it, I felt so good and I loved it. But then afterwards, I was worried, with reason, that people were gonna think I was a boy, because at the time, my brother's 7 years younger than me, and he was in 5th grade at this time, and has always been tall for his age. He's 6'6" now, and at the time we were the exact same height and had the exact same haircut. And he was graduating from 5th grade, and I was there with him, and we were standing next to each other, and his teacher came over, and she was like, I didn't know you had a twin. And I was like, I'm a woman. I am a full adult woman. And there was another time where I also at the time I used to wear just like baggy t-shirts and basketball shorts, just like whatever free shit I got at doing some camp. And and I remember laying on the couch in my house, and one of my brother's friends came over and they like passed me to go upstairs, and they're like, I didn't know Braxton had an older brother. And I was like, I'm a woman. So then after that, I like wore earrings and makeup and skirts to try to like counterbalance that. But now I wear that stuff because I like it. But also now I also don't give a shit what people think about how I look. I had a friend who was like, I feel like your look's going more into like lesbian Jedi. And I was like, yeah. I don't really know what that is, but yeah. And I think that's what we should all aspire to do. Have you ever changed your look, Rob? Like drastically?
Nah, in the 90s though, the S curl was real.
Yeah.
Cool.
You had that?
Yeah, I used to rock that shit all the time. Yeah. So when you're talking about that lie and all that stuff, yeah, that's real. Like, and then it's burning, and you got to take it out or whatever. And it costs you your hairline at some points or whatever. But, barbershop is always important to men, black men especially.
Yeah, it's a whole community.
Yeah, and I remember one time specifically, my mom would take me to the barbershop, and she actually didn't want to make the trip too many times. So what she did this time is she told him to cut it low. He cut it low. She was like, it's not low enough. Cut it lower. He cut it lower. She said, it's not low enough. He cut me bald. Oh. And I was about like, I was 11, 12 years old at that time. So enough to care.
Yeah.
And that was the most, I had to go to church. And then she was like, and you got some grease to put on it? And so now I had this shiny bald head. And I used to play at church where the organ was in the front. So it's like everybody had to look, and it's just the most embarrassing haircut I've ever had. So, yeah, terrible.
Yeah, why did she think you needed to grease it? There's no hair there.
That's mamas, though. Mamas are like, and make it shine. I don't know.
Yeah, I asked my mom to trim me up again after she cut me initially, and she cut it shorter than it initially was the first time she cut it, and I cried. I was so upset. I remember dramatically in my bathroom, I had a brush. I was brushing it. I was like, it's too short, and I threw it at the mirror. I don't know why I'm throwing a fit because I asked her to cut it. It was already short, but I was still it's too short. People are gonna notice. Also, one thing that happened when I cut my hair is that I lost a ton of friends. Not because they didn't like the way I look, it's because they didn't recognize me. I like to think that I'm unique and I look a certain way and people can be able to tell what my face is all the time. But no, if I change my hair even a little bit, people are like, that's not my black girl. No, shit. Mine has this and a this and a curl. This is different. It was the summer after my first year of college. So everyone got used to me with this straight long hair, and I came back with a Caesar cut, and people were like, I guess there's a new girl here. But it was nice though, because it's a nice cleansing palette. Okay, you don't remember me? Great, bye. The ones who really matter will stick around and stay. Has anyone else gone through a big change physically where people either didn't recognize you or, I don't know, you just felt good? Yeah? What'd you do?
The same thing that you just said.
Oh, the haircut? Yeah. Oh, she has a mic. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I want to talk to you.
Oh, shit, sorry.
Yeah, maybe we don't want to talk to you. You don't even know how to hold a mic.
See, I don't even know how to hold a mic. No, but the same thing that you said about being called a boy, I still get called a they're like, okay, that's $5, sir. Mm-hmm. And then it goes in here and I'm like, ugh. But I'm bounce feeling. You just be you, and then you just pay for your stuff. And
yeah. Yeah, it doesn't even matter.
Nah.
But it is weird, I feel at this point, sir and ma'am aren't necessary. Friend or, I don't know, pal, thanks, buddy. I don't know, there's a way to do it that's not why are we guessing? Why? It's not a game. I don't need you to guess what the right thing. Just take my money and let me go. Anyone else? Yeah.
I did the shopping at Ross.
Surprise, there's a mic.
4 years ago, I cut out all the perm and got locks, and I'm from Caribbean parents, so my mom was like, your hair, you're gonna go to work that way? They're wigs, so.
Yeah. This is all just from 4 years? Mm-hmm. Wow, it's so long.
And I looked like a dandelion when I came out. But
that's cute. Dandelions are great. And does your family still think we can't believe she cut her hair, or are they adjusted to it?
No, because now it's long. As long as it's long, everything's all right. But when it was the first 2 years, they're like, oh my gosh, what does your boss say? Do you go out in public?
It's crazy, yeah. That is a thing in Black culture. I had a lot of uncles who were like, wow, you're never gonna get a job. And I'm like, I'm in entertainment. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I don't have to look like anything. Or just saying I prefer women with longer hair. And it's I'm not trying to date you. You're my uncle. Calm down. This is not for you. But yeah, everyone can just do whatever they want. Anyone else? Yeah.
I kind of feel like I have, I said yeah, but I meant no. I just kind of feel like I have the opposite problem. Like, I'm not wearing makeup one day, or my hair's in a bun, and I'm like, I can go into the world and no one will recognize me today. And then every single person that I know is just like, hey.
Mm-hmm.
So, no.
Do you want, when you go into the world like that, do you want people to not recognize you?
Like, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to, like, go get my groceries and not say hi to anyone and just have that kind of a day.
Yeah.
It's, like, not my story, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hats are good for that.
You'd think.
You think still? People are recognizing you?
Yeah. And I, like, don't think that I have any, like, standout thing that's, like, that's my thing.
Yeah.
I just think I'm pretty.
Maybe it's your aura.
Maybe.
There's just the energy. They're like, wow, she's here. she came up. Or maybe it's your walk. Do you walk like this?
Do I? I don't think so.
Just high knees down the street. They're like, that's definitely her. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But that's also good, though. I do want people to, if they're my friend, to recognize me. Other people, no. Especially when I'm, like, trying to do no makeup, no hair days. I do feel like sometimes people are like, because I don't get recognized on the street a ton, but if it does happen, it's usually the days where I'm, like, feeling shitty and on my period. And then they're like, can I get a picture? And I'm like, oh, my God. I looked good yesterday. Where were you then? One time I went to a diner, and I ordered some sort of shrimp pasta. Why did she do that? I don't know. I wanted to die. But I didn't realize I'm developing a shellfish allergy. I know. It is sad. It sucks. Because I've lived a whole life loving shellfish. Just, like, happy as a clam. And so I had this shrimp at this diner, and my face just, like, swole up. Like, my eye was swollen. I had these welts all over my face. And I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. And I was walking down the street trying to find Benadryl. And this girl was like, Sasheer, can I get a picture? And I was like, I'm a monster. Don't look at me. And I really didn't take a picture. I couldn't. I was like, I didn't want this to be a representation of me online. But yeah, what else is happening in the world? My boyfriend and I we're getting close to 4 years of our relationship. Thank you. Thank you. It's fun. It really is fun. It is work. And people told me before and during the process of my relationship that it will be work. It takes a lot of work to be healthy and successful in your relationship. But I feel like I'm doing most of the work because I'm fixing him. And I don't want to be one of those girlfriends that's like, I need to change my man. I need to fix him. Because I love him the way he is. But everything he does is wrong. So I need to change him. I like for people to take their shoes off when they enter my home. Anybody, right? It just makes more sense. And he does that for the most part, but sometimes he forgets. And I have all wood floors in my apartment and a big rug in the living room. And one day we were trying to leave, and he goes, babe, I have my shoes on, but don't worry. I'm standing on the rug. And I was like, what logic are we working with? When he saw the wood floors, did he see lava? And so I explained to him, no, babe, I want people to take their shoes off because they're tracking in dirt from outside, and that gives me more to clean. And he looked at me like I was explaining new math to him. Just never crossed his mind. And I can't tell if I'm fixing him for me or for his next girlfriend. Right?
It's a thin line. That's a thin line.
Because if we break up and he dates someone else, he's going to take his shoes off at the door. And she's going to be like, he's so clean. He's so conscientious. No, bitch, that was me. I did that. If you're currently dating Mr. Perfect who does everything right, you should thank all the exes who came before you for all the hard work they put in. Anything that a guy does that's considerate, it's because at one point in time he made a mistake. And then his partner yelled at him. And if you're not laughing, it's because you're currently being yelled at. And you're welcome. You guys ready for a good show? Let's do it.